Hello, everyone. Hello. And hey, Ramus, is that you? Can I see it? Hi, Lily. Such a blessing to see you. Hey, Ramus. Hello, everybody. Hello to my live stream. Welcome, 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 everybody. Thank you so much for being here. So, let me know if you guys can hear me. Anybody can hear? Just let me know if you guys can hear me okay. All right. Welcome, welcome. All right, so today, okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome back. Hi, hi, Sydney. Oh my God, welcome, you guys. 1,000 days, 1,000 days in silence. Hi, everyone. It's been 1,000 days. So welcome, welcome, Wild Wisdom Warriors. Today is very important day for me. Oh my God. So I've got a lot to celebrate. A lot had happened in the last 1,000 days. So here I am in my studio, in my art studio. Doing my thing, you guys. So I've been in silence for 1,000 days. And so today I'm going to celebrate and I'm raising a glass. This is, in fact, is indeed a champagne. It is a blueberry champagne, my favorite. And so today I am celebrating. So I want to welcome everyone who's been with me on this incredible journey. What a journey. It is a master quest. And so it's been 1,000 days of mastering self. And so this has been a journey that many masters before us came here to do this, to master themselves in this reality. And this is what that whole spiritual purpose is all about. And so this is answering your calling, as in a past, I would say. And so I answered the call and I had to do the battle for 1,000 days. Some of the masters before us took 40 days, and some of us, it took 1,000 days. So here we go. But here I am. The quest was incredible. And so here to all of you guys that's been on this journey with me, that follow my journey that I shared with you. And so through this silence, I learned so much, and I can't wait to share it with you all. So 1,000 days, exactly, a true long time. Yes, Sydney, long time. 1,000 days is a long time, but it is it. And those of you guys that been with me on my journey, you know that I have gone through this sort of periods where I need to do that inner work. So this is, like I said, some of the masters before us went on these journeys, because when you answer a call to stand for something, or to answer the call of the Most High, and so those of us that know what our calling is here. And so when we do answer that, we know that as a warrior, you know that your path is always alone. And you don't always know your path. You don't always know what's ahead, because when you go as deep as I went in this last 1,000 days, no, daughter, soft Lilith. No, I did not plan this to be 1,000 days. It was all in divine timing. Everything had to be in divine timing. It was exactly this is when kind of when I would ask spirit, when is the right time for me to come back out to speak about my experiences. I went through so it was exactly 2020 September 2nd. That was my last live video here on YouTube. So that was the date in itself, has a great meaning for me. So that's when the journey began for me. The next morning, it actually began. I got thrown into the journey right the next morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I've been through so much, and I will tell everyone what it is in details, but due to the nature of my experiences, being that there is a huge legal side to it. Because of that, I will not be using real names or anything like that. So, because YouTube is for entertainment purposes only, so I will be speaking as an artist on this platform. I am an artist. And believe it or not, in this last 1,000 days, I did develop an art therapy course that I actually tested out. So I actually did a lot of creative stuff as well. But that's how I get. I work through art. So yes, a lot of creative energy that I've been sort of putting into, how to say this, into sort of certain, remember you guys when I was talking about that, you have to sort of, when you get to the top of the mountain, you have to take your experiences and then see where it is that you can put those experiences down the mountains. You can see, and you can have a totally different perspective what it is that you can do with your experiences, with that snowball that you've been rolling up the mountain, what it is that you can do in order to help collective to take this quantum leap. Because ultimately this is what mastering reality is all about. And so the master quest is all about the final battle. So the dark versus the light, and it is within you. So that's why whoever we're all individual, and this is why I say from the artist perspective, and this is why also in a way what I've been in the last 1,000 days, a lot of confessions that I'm gonna make here right now starting, is I also been getting my investigative journalist creds, and I got it. I got everything what I need to do what I was here to do. It was, my journey was so incredible this past 1,000 days. Today I was there with the ocean this morning, preparing for this life today. And so let me go back about the 1,000 days. Did I plan it? No, I did not plan it. But in one of my how to say this, when you guys, this is all I am embodying. My whole teachings are all about embodying your higher self and becoming the Christed being that people are seek to become. So anyway, master quest, that's what it is, mastery of self mastery. So anyway, in one of my because I didn't know, I kind of like, every time, this is the funny part, every time it was like in this 1,000 days I got 1,000 pieces, and I had to put all of them together in order to see the bigger picture of what my purpose was, specifically for certain things that I did in fact predict everything what I was going to go through in my journals from those couple of years ago. So it's all there. It's all on record. Everything is on record because of divine timing. Okay? So divine timing, because the way the quantum leap operates when we speak reality into existence. So this is what happens when when we speak, like even from a couple of years ago, whatever I was talking about, and the time is, remember you guys my predictions in 2016 New Year's, 2024 to 2025 is the restructuring of the reality when it's going to begin. So it's about time I can make a new graph, because this is basically what I got the puzzle over the last 1,000 days is the new graph for another decade or so. Okay, so it's huge. The puzzle is incredibly big, but there's a lot of sides to it because of the nature of the beast. Okay, and what we're dealing with. Yes, daughters, because it is that part of documentary. And then what had happened what had happened is I got thrown into see all the sides of the enslavement of humanity. And so because of that and the nature of the things, so what happened that on the 2nd of September, I I surrender to my purpose. I didn't quite understand on a conscious level what my purpose was. So the way I saw it, it was coming out as documentary because I am an artist. But what was interesting is I did not know what my documentary is going to be turn out to be until I had to collect all these pieces of that puzzle. And it's funny you ask that because that's the first thing. This is the first sort of how to say this, because what happened on September 2nd, but let me celebrate my freedom. My freedom. I am staying wild as usual. I am celebrating freedom because those of you who know, without words, many of you here knew that about 6 years ago, I had a different cycle that I had to close up and learn about. Because you guys, the way I operate, and those of you that know me, you guys know that the way I operate is I close those cycles. Maybe I've called myself in the past, I deliver karma. I go and I work with land, and then I just strictly spiritual work. And I'm always alone because it's a self-mastery class. It's a self-mastery path and quest. So when I was asking when is the good time for me to start sharing what I have learned and all of that stuff, this is when I got that 1,000 days. I had to go and collect all of this to even be able to explain. And it was a while back, good couple of months ago, that I knew that it would be around this time that I will be ready and have the words to go through my experience and talk about it in a way to where my experience will be helpful to others. Because this is ultimately the purpose of all of my live videos, for what I learned in last in last couple of years, in last 1,000 days, is that, well, it's a lot more than just sharing my experience. It's actually a record, because this is actually a part of, now this channel on YouTube is part of the legal proceedings as well. So, and they're aware of it. I did not make this part of this. They all did it on their own. They all did it on their own. I didn't ask for it. I just took evidence. Just took evidence. I did what I'm supposed to do, and this is what I'm celebrating. So anyway, so this is how I knew that this would be about time. And as you guys can see, I am so much new information and so much that I have learned, and the subject that I've learned about. And so, and then definitely for about 5 to 6 years or so ago. So 5 years now, I had to learn another side of this, how to say, maybe communist. What is this? The spiritual invasion of humanity. Okay, and so in last 5 years, I went deep, deep into the dark depth of this group. This is the group that I investigated. I went undercover as a journalist to investigate this group. And the secret oath. And the effects of this group and the secret oath on United States government. I've documented those effects. What it does, how, who, when, where. Sorry, you guys, I just spilled a little bit of wine. Ooh. Someone's not happy. I know who's not happy. And those of you who know me, you know specifically with who and how I got access. The access was granted to me by this individual. I'm not a part of this group. And so, to the members of this group, I have a little of disclaimer to say right now before I move on. And oh, you guys, in the second half of this, I will take your questions. So prepare them, you guys. All right, because I will do that. I really work well with you guys, because I don't know how much you guys know of what I've been going through and all of that stuff. I have not been speaking unless I spoken to you on the phone in person. None of the communications were mine. This group had a plan for me. But their plan failed. And so this is what I'm going to talk about. So, and why this deep, dark world will be exposed. The reason their plan failed is because I am not part of this group. Never were, never will be. I'm not an occultist, because occult teaches you how to harvest energy, living energy. That's all occult does. Thank you, Pranil, for a warm welcome back. Really appreciate it. What occult teaches you is vampirism. So this is why, in order to expose this group, I had to go in deep, deep undercover. Their plans didn't match with Most High plans. So, oops. Boo boo kitty. Opa. Opa. Boo boo kitty. Boo boo kitty. Oh, they're going to put this little thing under a little shameful private parts. Who to put them on? They thief. They thief. They thief. Because, in here they're all under secret oath. And because this group, my goodness, you guys, I found out who their entity is that operates this group. So that was my enemy. That was my mission. Entity that operates them. Yeah, I am double, triple. I told this Boo Boo Kitty, Boo Boo Kitty over here. I said I'm always undercover because God always protects me. God always protects. Oh, Boo Boo Kitties. All right. So anyway, so we're talking about and yes, you guys, I went deep and I started at home. You're always at the right time, at the right place. So it's all about divine timing. So you're always at the right time, right place. So everything has to go in divine timing, right? So if I did not experience what I experienced in last 1,000 days, I would never really knew the mastery, self-mastery. Because that was the other part that I prepared myself in my previous videos, is for this mastery course that we're going to go through. So my handler wannabe give me access, because what they don't understand, this group of people, they are still in fact continue to do all of their stuff, to where they continue to do their rituals. He's continuing to do the rituals nonstop, because they wanted to submit me under that entity's power, to submit my soul. Oh my God, what I learned all of the science of the abuse, all of it, how this is all about, you guys. If those of you that approach this, no, I cannot be handled. It's like, oh my God, I had so much fun. I was like, I had to, it was all, oh my God, the things that I had to learn in order to understand why they have to do certain things, and particularly to their own children, to their own bloodline. Okay, and why, and who does it, and all of that stuff. I've talked about it before, but I'm going to keep it on YouTube really light. Plus, this is all a part of the legal will is already is recorded as a part of a case. So everything I say right here is could be used against me. Okay. But I've collected all the evidence strictly legally. I didn't collect them. I just intended to gather them, and then Boulder County just willingly provided me with every layer that I needed. So every layer, and I'm talking city government. And what is interesting, what I'm looking back, and how incredible it is, how humbling this experience for me is, because every layer I have gotten credible legal evidence, and each layer it is 3 times. And this is all has to do with magic and black magic use on the collective. And then so now this basically what it is I went 1,000 days into battle to break the curse on the bloodline. And so those of you that know my bloodline, you know that it's good thing that it only took me 1,000 days. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. I consider myself definitely a master. So the secret oath, and also what I've documented, is what my ultimate goal was to document how the secret oath is subverting the oath to the United States Constitution. I didn't ask Boulder County to make me a political prisoner. They did it themselves. Bob Mueller wannabe. I got myself Bob Mueller wannabe in Boulder County. Bob Mueller wannabe does not know the difference. A prosecutor in the District 20, Boulder County, district attorney, don't know the difference between 72 hours and 72 days. It is in public record, in court transcripts. There are treason, there are crimes. They willingly provided me with all the records of their crimes. He went on record violating law, violating his oath to United States Constitution. How credible is court transcripts? I didn't ask them to do that. I didn't go and threaten Bob Mueller wannabe to provide me with evidence of treason. I didn't ask Boulder County to do that. They all did it on themselves. It was like they were willingly. The story is, you guys, that it was just like unbelievable because they provided me with everything. The judge, low budget torture judge, goes in the transcripts telling me story how she has the right to torture me for 13 months. without any probable cause for anything. City police, City of Lafayette police kidnapped me, assaulted me on September 2nd of 2020. They kidnapped me and then they tortured me for 13 months. And because Bob Mueller wannabe does not know the difference between hours and days, he come up with probable cause, Russia collusion. He accused a Ukrainian of Russia collusion. How dumb do you have to be? Perhaps half retarded? Must have graduated from Harvard? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me. And because the secret oath, it will be revealed to the public. They cannot hide. They cannot run. And because the nature of this beast, because they got so comfortable to go on record with their crimes. And plus, that was during COVID, so everything is online. So the evidence are overwhelming, every layer of the government. You know, when they were setting me up, to go back to jail. And so some of the court officials was trying to scare me because all they know is fear. They only operate on fear. These people only operate on fear. So I'm doing my documentary. I'm asking the questions of them that I need to know the answers to. So when she was trying to set me up, I tried to redirect her, and one of the Jennifer limited intelligence. There's people with limited intelligence. Oh my God, the level of intelligence is so low with all the court officials. I mean, hello, prosecutor Bob Mueller wannabe doesn't know, but he knows the secret oath to continue to abuse his power, to continue to be accessory to kidnapping. Bob Mueller wannabe. How do you like that? Accessory to kidnapping, torture, extortion. I'm not talking about all the constitutional violations. I'm talking criminals. I'm talking activity documented. So what I ask her, because this is the nature of my documentary, what I ask her is how many how many cases with children she has right now that they're currently unlawfully seizing in Boulder County. You know what came out of her mouth right after that question? Threats of murder. Court officials. 3 attorneys went on record as accessory to kidnapping. 3 attorneys. Like I said, not one. All the layers. Better Club Protection Services. 3 times. 3 different attorneys. One of them is public defender. receiving a paycheck from the government. Went on record trying to convince me that their trumped up charges will hold in court. They never did. So I sent them a description of kangaroo court and asked how come Bob Mueller wannabe has been counting on paid-in prescriptions only torture lady to provide justice. But I'm very grateful to all and each and every one of those individuals in Boulder County court system for so willingly giving me all the information. I thank you. Because it was a gift for me, because what I learned and what I've documented, you're exposed. You're exposed, darlings. You're exposed. Your little group of Pedal Club Protection Services is all exposed. And your handler, he failed. He failed. You know why he failed? Because I never submitted to that power. I never submitted to that three-headed demon. I don't submit to the three-headed demon. I take that bitch out. That's what I do. I take that bitch out. That's what I do. So, covering your little private parts, and I don't care how many of you're already dead. You're already dead because you operate out of fear. You operate out of fear. You operate out of fear. They operate out of fear. I do not. The reason they operate out of fear, because it's either their throat is going to be cut. That's the first degree. Their heart will be cut out if they don't keep secrets. That's the second degree. And then the third degree, their guts are going to be open and their guts are going to fall on the floor. That's the rituals. That's the secret oath. This is why they have to uphold that. This is why they have to be a Pedal Club Protection Services. This is the reason for Pedal Club Protection Services to exist. This is what I investigate. Those that abuse children. And the root of it will be revealed because we're going to pull it out together. And so you, all of those, you that think that your death rituals are powerful, all you did is you anger that three-headed demon because I have no contracts with you, or you, or all of you. All of you. I have no contracts with you. And for the females, the Eastern Star, I have no contracts with you. You have no power. You can do all kinds of shit. You can call your darkest priestess of the priest. They can only go to the three-headed demon for power. How are they going to use that power against me? Dum-dums, explain this to me, por favor. Por favor. a head of a goat, a head of a bull, and the tail of the snake. Research demonology. This is their God. In my documentary, I think it's probably going to be episode 4, where I will go into the details of how the worship of this beast infiltrated American government. It will be, I believe it's episode 4, Eisenhower betrayal. This is where I make connections to the aliens and Nazis. Nazis and aliens. Maybe that's going to be the subtitle. Eisenhower betrayal. But that's basically that, because that's when military got infiltrated. So this is why this is a military case. Because what I've documented is that the local government, county, and state, and DOJ, and Government Accountability Office all went on record, more than enough, to be convicted of treason, of crimes against humanity, of crimes against children. Conspiracy to defraud United States is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. This is why I cannot take this case to a regular court, because they're all in on it. And my attorney number 2 that's charged me money just to become a whistleblower, she didn't know she was a whistleblower. She told me everything. She went on record. She went on record that if she does not violate my rights and continue to torture me, she will lose her life. So I have attorney Anna that is a whistleblower. And this is why it is a military case. The military case officially started in January of 2022. That was the beginning of the end for this group. This was my mission, and this is why I had to go in. And the whole time, I knew who I was dealing with, and I had to pretend that I didn't know. But that's how I experience and learn about the enemy. And those of you that know that you keep your friends close, but your enemies even closer. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Because what they've done in Boulder County, they provided me with so much evidence. All right. Okay, you guys. So is that a question? Daughter, Lilith. Lilith. So anyway, yes, the handler couldn't handle. So the handler ran. He's most likely, I told him you probably should run to Mexico before you didn't do what you promised to do. And I had to do a lot of return to sender stuff that this group was sending me and all of that. And I've seen the faith of this man, and because of who I am and how I disarmed him, because he was trying to unalive me. He was taking his time. He most likely done it before. I don't have a full 100% proof of that, but I do have a lot of suspicions and some records. But it was definitely intended for me to, because that's the nature of this being, that there's an entity that they serve. And so, and then the other thing is they feed, and this is why this little fraternity, they like when Roy would try to go to their meetings and stuff, he would wash his rectum, because those traveling men, they travel up each other's rectum for this is that there's an energy harvesting process that happens during those things, those rituals. So anyway, so you guys have learned so much about this. It's very deep and very dark, but this is also is going to be kind of like a based on the true story. Uh, um, there's a documentary, but there is also behind the documentary that I'm going to be digging deep into all this different aspect. But you know that my documentary title is Keystone. It's originally it was intended to tell a story about compare the story of now what's happening in America and the time when land of the free and home of the brave was sort of the spirit of that saying, and what it means for real Americans, and how it plays role in our duty as American citizens to protect the United States Constitution, because the Constitution is actually agreement with the land. And so this is my sort of specialty, is the land and the agreements that are made with the land. And so this is why the blood sacrifice rituals on the land, I studied those all my life, and this is what I investigate in my sessions, hypnosis sessions. And so, by the way, I worked with my friend throughout this time, because the hypnosis in doing the shamanic journeys with Carrie, thank you so much for being there with me, walking me through this. And we took a lot of hits. Zeus almost died. He took one for me. He took a hit. It was bad. But he's doing well right now. He's just being his old self. He's just sleeping with Jimmy right now. But he's almost 17, you guys. So Zeus is doing really well. Yes, Remy, I'm back. I'm back. So you guys, yeah, you can start typing your questions in, but yes, I'm definitely back. I'm definitely I stir up a lot of cages that people don't like to be revealed. They don't like it. They're still where I am right now. I don't even know if I should tell you guys or not, but I guess I should. I am in California. Because I had to leave. I had so much harassment and stalking and attempts to kill me, that attempts on my life when I was in Colorado. I had to get out. It was an extremely difficult time for me, but I made it through. I made it through. So here I am. But in here, of course, that the abuse does not stop. So they, of course, try to set me up here. And so my handler wannabe found a group here that were willing to continue to set me up here. But of course, I have God has God works in mysterious ways. So here I am. Here I am. But I did something. I also had a lot of. So speaking of the land, so I worked with a piece of land here that has had curse attached to it. So it's been tough work, but and work through this and understanding. But and I'm very grateful for each and every one of you that's been here through this journey with me. Um, I am just so humble for every word. It's just everyone said. Um, when you go through something so deep and so profound, it's almost like you remember everything. And it feels like this 1,000 days been like 1,000 years. Because I've gained so much wisdom through the experiences. And all of you out there, you've been a part of my journey. Believe it or not, you are. We are kind of like we're coming together as this fabric of organic, individual, empowered beings that collaborate with humility, with respect, and to accept, like what you, Tina, say, is our very nature to rattle the cages. And goes back to, like I said, we have the path of some. I know what's how it's been sort of. There's a lot of curses in the Bible, let's just say that, but there is also a lot of wisdom if you can look beyond curses, because curses only work on that low vibration and the negative side. They do not affect you if you're in balance. Okay, so you have to balance your own darkness and your own light. So you rule your own darkness. And what occult teaches you is how to surrender that to an entity. And what happens is you disarm yourself and then you become part of the collective, because the entity needs collective. That's the energy harvesting. But this entity also needs the physical blood. And this is why it goes really deep and dark. All right. Yeah, that would be cool, Remy, if Natasha would pop in. Hi, Anna. Oh my God. It's been so long. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, I do have just a few minutes for the questions, and we can go a little bit over an hour, but I am just starting, you guys. It's been tough for me to find words, and those of you that know me for a while, it takes time for me to kind of ground my experiences, because they're so deep and so profound that it takes some time. And I know that everything is in divine time, and there's nothing I can do about that. So I know that in the past people say, "Hey, Lily, how come you're not coming out?" Because I could not have focused on anything but what my sort of my position, because I've accepted my path. That was, I could see where I could roll that snowball of my own experiences. And this is including everything what my ancestors have been through, because I am breaking this curse from my bloodline. I'm here to do that. I'm not here to be an energy supply for a collective entity. No, thank you. And not any of you Masons, or not any of you Eastern Star, um, have retarded, must have graduated from Harvard idiots, have any rights to my life force. You have no right to it. And if you try, what happens? Huh, boy? What happened? His body started decomposing while he's still alive. Don't touch the anointed ones. Do not touch. Do not touch. Yes, Anna. I did a very powerful ritual, which I will be talking about ultimately. See, Ankovich, it is still in the process of making. It's just started. It's just started. It's going to start with the connection. Well, it's going to kind of start in this first episode. This is all about DOJ clowns and the circus show titled Ghislaine Maxwell Trial. So this is basically, we're going to talk about that layer. Okay. So we're going to go talk about DOJ clowns and the show they perform for you, for the Americans, called Ghislaine Maxwell Trial. We'll dig into that in the first episode. Okay. So anyway, I also, you guys, will be doing Master Quest, probably on a different platform. I will announce all of that, but that Master Quest will be more of an in-depth look at the spiritual side of things. So this is where, but because this platform is difficult to deal with, and because there is evidence on this platform, and so I want to keep it entertainment purposes only. Okay. So, and then I will eventually have different platforms, because I will eventually be streaming behind the scenes of making of a keystone, because it all has to do with the infiltration of government, basically. So I basically documented in this last 1,000 days, I've documented crimes against children, crimes against humanity. I mean, like I said, all the money stuff, that stuff, I've documented it even before that. This is why they went after me, and this is why they kept throwing me in jail without any probable cause of nothing. They attempted to kidnap me again. Then the torture I've been through, my goodness, followed, tried to run me off the road so many times. But here's one more thing. Oceanside Police in California. I'm going to tell you this one. I'm going to put this on record right now. Oceanside Police Department, Oceanside City. They are aware of. I reported to them the stalking that right now I am going through. I am still going through it. That they are doing it even more right now. So they're stalking me, threatening me, and all kinds of stuff. I reported it back in April of this year to Oceanside Police Department. So, but because they're a little bit shocked, and they don't know what to do, because they had a setup plan and they already halfway there. They were halfway there, and then oops, a sharp turn. So a sharp turn, and so they're having difficulties. This group has difficulties right now, because they will not stop, because it's either their life or mine. So yes, and they tried me, and I did damaged my car tremendously, tried to run me off the road in the middle of the night, and all kinds of stuff. Not talking about the psychological abuse in attempted murder. But that's a story for episode 3. All right. There is going to be also an episode about pedo-friendly Congress and Burisma paychecks. So I'm going to go there too. So that's also is part of the Keystone. All right. Pedo-friendly Congress, the latest justice in the Supreme Court, the most pedo-friendly judge, just got a position in the Supreme Court last year. And we'll find the connection to Burisma paychecks and Obama's blankets that end up in Ukraine at the child porn factories. Obama's blankets. Okay. Any questions? 1 hour. All right. Do you guys have any questions? All right, you guys. So if you like this time, I might do this. How is this time working? I'm thinking of doing Sunday because of all the experiences I went through, you guys. I've got stripped of everything. I work a lot just to pay my bills, so I only have one day to where I can do this. So it's Sunday. So if I'm here, I can only be here on Sundays because I have to work a lot. So because I had to pay 3 limited intelligence lawyers money so they can set me up for failure. All right. Ankovich, that is sort of it's a documentary and a story. It's a live. It's like, think of it more like reality TV. Okay, so there is an investigation that right now it is in part of the. So if you think about it as a creative process, this is right now, it's all the pieces coming together, and in its last 1,000 days I've got gathered the last pieces, and it was like 1,000 pieces more than I was missing to see the much bigger picture, so I can have like this a much elevated point of view of what this documentary is really about. But it is like a sort of, because the whole thing, and even in entertainment, everything is changing, and right now with streaming and everything, it's sort of combining the style of the documentary filming. It's demonstrating the past, and so then the past, present, and and also talking about the future. So, and that's what kind of like combining reality TV and documentary. So right now we haven't got to the stage of reality TV because this is a military case, so they will take years to investigate. They have to put it all of their stuff together. Okay. And as you know, there's a lot of in military people that, because military can they can do this quick, even though if they would not, if, let me just put it this way. Military, the reason military is going to take a little time, because military needs to first figure out if they're a limited intelligence or if they're actually intelligent. And they need to figure out in military first what their oath is. Are they with the half retarded, must have graduated from Harvard, or are they the guardians of United States Constitution? Are they warriors? Are they willing to stand up? Because I am going to talk about infiltration of United States military in the episode titled Eisenhower Betrayal. That's all is coming out. Exposure, exposure, exposure. That's all we're in right now. Years ago I talk about revealers. That's a lot of, we have a lot of different missions. And this is mine. I didn't ask them to come and open the door for me and give me access to all of their doings. They came into my reality. They invaded my reality. Didn't ask anybody to provide me with all this evidence of crimes. They went ahead and willingly provided me with evidence of crimes. And so it's not like I'm calling pedo-friendly Congress first. There's a congressman that asked that judge, do you realize, judge, that you are the most pedo-friendly judge in United States? Yeah. And then she got approved to the Supreme Court. So, oh no, not pedo-friendly. Not pedo-friendly at all. There was $1 billion that Biden was supposed to give to Ukraine. But all the Ukrainians got is blankets. And those blankets end up at the child porn factories in eastern Ukraine. Not a pedo-friendly Congress. Okay. All right. You guys don't have questions? Am I still on? I don't even know. They probably don't like me saying that. But anyway, you guys. Oh my God, I've been here. So you guys don't have any questions. I'm sure this is shocking, but I'll be talking about it. It's not like it's a secret anymore that all this abuse has been taking place. I mean, they literally put me through what Russians put Magnitsky through. They end up killing him. I survived. That's the only difference. That was the only difference. I received the Soviet Union communist treatment just like Magnitsky did. And I received it in United States of America, in the state of Colorado, in Boulder County. If military can accept all of their records that they took, then where's your America? It's already too late. So, and this is why it has to be done this way. So a cleaning up of their own backyard is a must. It's a must. And same with every level. That's the only way. You can't hide anymore. You can't. We all know that you all do this because you're afraid to get your throat cut or you're afraid to. And the reason you continue the Eastern Star, you bitches, you continue to be the provider of children, that container, that factory, that through legal system, you continue to steal American children unlawfully. Steal. And you think you're going to continue to do that. Boulder County, a 25 history, documented 25 years history of legal system covering up crimes against children, covering up crimes against humanity, and much more crimes, committing those crimes and covering up for those crimes. To this day, they cover up for JonBenet Ramsey murder. To this day, JonBenet Ramsey father upholds to this oath. We know that. Yes, Tina, I will be back. Just like if you research years ago what I did, I also had shows. I will be back doing a lot of different shows. That's also, I developed quite a bit over this 1,000 days. A lot of creative time as well. So you guys, and now I'm ready to express that everything that what I've been sort of creating. So my my art is getting ready to be to be manifested. So it's all getting ready to be sort of brought to the light. It's right now it's being kind of final finishes on certain things and all of that. um Lavara, thank you so much. Yes, I am all right. And because I knew that this part of my faith, I've done it before. I had faced many obstacles in my life. I've been dead and back several times. So I had the knowledge to withhold and withstand that kind of abuse, to where not to, because they were also using all kinds of things to mess up my mind. And I mean, it was making me so sick. So like whatever those I don't know, but anyway, it's just like so the biggest hit that I took was my body. My body went through really a lot. Like it was all in my body, but mentally and spiritually, I was very strong because my faith is just it's unbreakable. And I think once I said this spirit inside of me is unfucking breakable. It's when I was being attacked by so many of those double agents that you guys talk about, the ones that used to threaten me in my comments and all of that stuff, all of those warlocks and witches and all of those, they used to threaten me and put their curses in my comments and stuff like that. I'm like, bitch, get in line. There's a curse line over here. There's so many bitches wanted to put curse on me. Get in line, bitch. Get in line. Get in line. The curses don't work on me. I'm doing totally different things. I'm not dealing with your three-headed demon. I'm slaying them. I'm slaying those three-headed demons. Yes, so I've been targeted by the Ninth Circle Mothers of Darkness, the Hempstead whistleblowers dead, since we worked on that case and exposed it uncensored and savage truth. Tina, very interesting point, because this is how they operate. Is the judges, right? So that in my case, my low budget torture judge went on record um, discussing how she can't afford how Boulder County, Boulder County can't afford proper proceedings. They can't afford to follow the Constitution, basically what she said. And she said that, and basically told me that I have to go through 13 months of torture without any other explanation. So once that happened, and the next time, because I had a dozen of hearings, I think. And so what happened, all of that went on record. And then I went ahead and doubled down on that record. And then I recorded with the judge the attempted kidnapping. This is when everything turned around. And now I was already out of the state. But what they did is they threw me in jail for a week. And what they did is, after I came out, what they set me up for, basically to, I'm trying to say something without saying too much. But it's hard, Tina. It's hard. But basically, what was valuable through that experience, and this is what I'm saying, those experiences that you have with those people, it's because for me, like I said in the past, I can, because I am an alchemist, so I will transmute. So I will take that and transmute it. And so then accepting your, or surrendering to your path is, as an alchemist, you see, okay, whatever you're always at the right time, at the right place, and you're there doing the thing that you're supposed to do. You trust, you have faith, right? So when you look at that, like when I look, why I was laughing, I couldn't, almost like when the ponchik, ponchik is police. It's a Russian word for puffy pastry. That's what they call. And ponchiki is I will call all the police officers ponchiki, okay? That's my nickname for me. That's a group of puffy pastries. But when they originally insulted me, assaulted me, attempted to choke me, and then kidnapped me, and all of that, this is when I sat in the back of that car, and this is my spirit said, this is what you observing. So now I went in the totally neutral zone, to where I sat on the back in a meditative state, and they were dealing with it because they kidnapped me on my walk with the dog. So what they did is they called the animal control to get my dog and all of that stuff. So and I had nothing on me. I was on a walk with the dog. So because of that, it was taking a long time. I sat there still, and I don't know how much time passed, but I was in that state of serenity and surrender and trust. And in that moment, this is when I saw what it is that I am observing and recording, and what crimes am I recording, because I'm on behalf of Most High, experiencing the violation of human consciousness. So see, they look at it, they're setting me up. They even did, the female ponchik even did the whole thing, digging into my arms and my thing to make me twist. And she was screaming, don't run away, don't run away, don't try to get away, while hurting me, while the other dude over 300 is choking me. Okay. No probable cause, no Miranda rights, no nothing. They had no reason to arrest me. No reason. And they call it an arrest. No, bitch. That's assault and kidnapping and attempted murder. Ponchik. So what they think they're doing their job. They're protecting the secret. They have to, in their constitution, they have to do what's best for the group because it's a collective entity that they serve. That's the spiritual side. Oh, Tina, before that, you should see my find it on my for a couple of years of how much harassment I went before the because before the September 2nd of 2020 of the kidnapping day. There was so much harassment. They came to my home. They harassed me. They've done so much, and I've got it so much on camera. All of that abuse and harassment and City of Lafayette crimes. All of that. I got a lot of before that. This is why they got triggered. They started protecting their City of Lafayette crimes as a city because there was a project over there, a building project that was a government contractor. That was so they were basically embezzling money, government money. So and I caught it all on camera. So that's basically this is why they started harassing me. And this is I went to Walmart with camera. And so yeah, and they came to two cars, and they were threatening to send dogs on me too. So because so many of them because they enter into this secret oath, they join the society because like anybody in the political arena, that's the only way they can get there. That's the only way they can get there. So is to join the group, and then they have to do what the group said. But the thing is, they have that because it's the infiltration from within, and there's always going to be that conflict with the Constitution. So, and this is why it can only be a military case. Only a military has a capacity because DOJ cannot prosecute themselves. They can't prosecute themselves for the crimes that they committed. They won't. Because on September 17th, I thought, so September 2nd, 2 weeks later, they attempted to kidnap me again. But thanks to cameras, Tina, they couldn't. Because they were accusing me of something that I did while the cameras were on that place. And they couldn't, and they just couldn't. But because they don't have intelligence, I'm telling you, when they join this and when they submit into this, like what they do, the first, second degree is a different level of sort of, it's self-cursing. It's cursing themselves and cursing their bloodline and cursing their own individual mind, and they're submitting them into this group think, so they'll do anything for a paycheck. So they have to be below Maxine Waters' IQ level to even join in this. This is what I found out. This is what the most hurtful to me to see was that how unintelligent people that are in charge of the justice system are, how corrupt they are, but which was surprising, and yet I thought, how lucky for me, how easily they are just providing me with all these records of crimes. Oh my God, sunshine! Hi, darling! Oh my God, mwah, I love you so much, Mama. Thank you for your prayers, my Mama. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you. Mama, you you have no idea. Thank you. Whew, sunshine. So anyway, so I'm free, on an individual level, completely free. So on February of 2022, um, once I sent a letter calling for all the officers in the case, and called them on all the constitutional violations, and I called in the session before the another hearing because I was getting tired of the abuse, and I got more than enough evidence, and I literally said, listen, I already know exactly what you're doing. I've got plenty of evidence. Plenty of evidence. You guys, on my fingerprints, I write to them, I was kidnapped. And then I write to them, as I said, my fingerprints. Then they won't tell me. They would not release the body cams. They lied to me. They said that they're all they're all malfunction. They would not release even my fingerprints to me because it's not a fingerprint card. It's a kidnapping note. The first paper they give you to see a judge after you first time they put you in jail. It's not a paper for court. It's a kidnapping note. I wrote a note to a judge telling them that I was kidnapped. Where was my probable cause? Where was my Miranda rights? Where nothing. Judge, accessory to kidnapping. And attempted murder too. So you guys, there is so the collective field is going to go through this what we've been through is this like what is that, that soup. This is what been last 1,000 days. It's been that soup before you become a butterfly. So you're like all in all of that, and then you just take and you become a butterfly. And this is the process of an artist, you guys. Okay, so I Boxy, thank you so much. Yes, I and the reason why I'm going to be talking about this, because I tell you guys, I did have a couple of people online on YouTube that helped me understand a little bit what is it going on the collective level, how it is all affecting all of these changes and all of that. So eventually I will tell you guys my faves on YouTube. Those are the masters that are mastering themselves. There is a lot of people out there, especially in the community of psychics, psychic investigators, tarot readers. There is a lot of witches and warlocks doing their thing, projecting their curses on humanity. They keep doing that bullshit, but there is some out there that are golden because they are sharing their experiences. They're sharing their the good, the bad, and the very freaking ugly. And this is an ugly process because you got to see the ugly. Without seeing the ugly, you cannot make it into a pretty. You cannot be. This is the art of mastering self. And so this is me as an artist, you guys. Of course, I developed the art course, which is an art therapy. So I'll film a little bit of that, but I will actually eventually put a course online. And that's for you guys, for those of you that are interested in healing through art. It's going to be fun, family sort of things. First, I'm going to teach you how to take a room and turn it into an art studio. And then I will show you how to heal through doing art and having a lot of fun, because that's exactly what I did. My healing was I was doing a lot of healing through this 1,000 days, a lot of battling in the spirit world. But at the same time, you guys, my gifts are so extremely intense. I've got quite a few new gifts and that are ancestral gifts that I've been in. This is my, even though I got stripped of every penny I had, I went through in a lot of death. If it wasn't for my son working day and night, I would have become homeless. This is what they conspire, Boulder County government conspired to do to me. And I'm still here. And then they keep waiting for me to die because they believe that they did the death ritual. Eastern stars, you dum-dums. Dum-dums are waiting. Can't touch this. You can't touch this. That spirit, see, they scraped everything from the external, but because they only have access to external, they do not have access to the Most High, which is within you. It's your essence, what they want. And this is why they scraped everything. The group here in Oceanside, which is a Rosicrucian Fellowship, it is the most, well, it's a trap house pretending to be church. So what I'm actually here in California for is to expose the trafficking corridor. And that's including all the new age churches that are used as trap houses. The one here in Oceanside, Rosicrucian Fellowship, it's funny that the God sent me there. That's the original sin, the original infection in Egypt, right? So this is the supposed pastor. He's connected to Gaiam TV. Has a 3-inch coke nail that is like black, grayish, brown, yellowish. It's old, it's long. And I go, how many lines of coke does it take to contact that entity of yours, dude? But he's in contact with entities. And that's the entity that I was sent there to expose. And here it is. And he thinks nobody's supposed to notice that he's got 3-inch. Jean! Mademoiselle! He's French. He's French. Jean! Was I not supposed to notice that? But, oh, they're in contact. Okay, so that's whole another story. 133. Oh my God, you guys. I thank you so much for being here. Here's to all of you. I love you all so, so much. And I thank you all for being here. I have so much to share with you guys. There's so much good that's coming out of this. There's so much healing that I've gone through and that I would like to share with you. So like we were talking about, holding the line, you appreciate. Yes. Yes, a lot of people, Roxy, they got snapped and all of that stuff. But this is the thing you have to, and there is at the end, I will help those people that are trapped, that trap themselves through these rituals that they go through, because those rituals are just, they're just collecting and putting layer of top of the layer of top of layer of curses on themselves, bloodline curses. And so you can stand against it. You just have to be firm, and you gotta accept your essence as a human being, and that's what it is. And in fact, you guys, the guy that pretended to be the handler that pretended to be my boyfriend, the one that wanted me to submit to this three-headed entity of theirs, and they were gonna here the Rosicrucians were gonna do it because they did it to Max Heindel, and that ritual of in he was they were trying to embody for him to embody that entity, and it killed him. It blew his heart out. It killed the entity, because they can't enter the kingdom of God. The guy had a soul, and they try to put this entity on him, and it doesn't work. They're trying to figure it out. And the other thing is the location. I found out the location here. There's there's portal right there. There was portal, and this is why I had to go. It was portal that was open in the land, and I figured out the whole history and everything. But anyway, when I tried to hypnotize this guy, say, hey, Boo Boo Kitty, let me hypnotize you. He didn't go anywhere. Soulless being. So I needed to study him for 5 years. And what I learned is I learned about the energy harvesting process. That was my biggest surprise. That was, I didn't understand quite the way I do understand it now. Yes. So now we're gonna start. So basically, all these connections, in all of that, it's just we're gonna see it for what it is. Because when you see, like I said, all you have to do is see what you're looking at. The way I went through it, I even had to go through 1 week of being in and seeing, because I'm an undercover journalist. I want to see what is happening in there, and what I observe is gulag. Jails are gulag. There's experimentations, medical experimentations going on in it every day, and it's all on record. So I put it on record and send it to low budget torture judge. I send it to low budget torture judge, and I said something. Jesus, I'm forgetting words, you guys. I've been trying to looking for words that would be expressing the best. It's like all so new. This experience is so new to me that it's so different that I don't have words for it yet. So just please bear with me. But what I did tell her, I asked her, does she realize that at the Nuremberg trials, when they were doing their jobs, it didn't work out well for them? Was she realizing that? Or did her diaper on her face was not allowing her to have enough oxygen to her brain to realize that she was going on record, and that she was giving me enough evidence for a Nuremberg trial number 2? Repeat. Repeat. So let's do that again. So I'm like, do you realize that this is the evidence, like what you're saying? I honestly ask a judge, do you realize that the evidence I'm getting here, not strictly in that way, in an undercover way, being aloof and looking like I don't know anything? Isn't that how undercover journalists operate, right? You got to go through an experience. And so this is how you know what you know. So anyway, what else do we have? We see here in Australia that yes, so yes, it is. And I talked about Lavara. I talked about the self, and so there is the Deception Decoded. There's 2 little videos. They're 15 minutes each. I talk about the whole system, and it's crumbling. It's gonna crumble from within. We're just gonna, in my documentary, this is what I want to demonstrate is the past and how the past was attempted to be implemented. And it's actually communists and Nazis infiltrated America at the same time. And this is where there's connections. Democrats are connected to communists, and then Republicans are actually connected to um, Nazi ideologies. And so this is where you get that. This is why it was possible for Nazi scientists to come into America, because it was made possible for them by the United States of America and certain officials. So that's the crime. Okay, so that's the original sort of infiltration of the government happened, and not of course the CIA creation. That's illegal. It's unlawful. It's anti-constitutional, actually. So this is where it is, because it's CIA is actually enemy of the people. They work against people. They're here to subvert constitution. Okay. All right, you guys. It's been a while, you guys. It's been such a pleasure being here. I will be here next Sunday, hopefully. I am coming back to Facebook, and I will be announcing all different platforms that I'll be putting out some of my work. And I am actually going to be doing live art classes as well. And for right now, I'll be here in San Diego County. And I am pretty much ready for it. But because what had happened, the Rosicrucians here at in Oceanside, California, I brought my to do the classes. All of my equipment, my art equipment and everything, they actually stole it, and they didn't just took my they didn't just and they didn't just stole my actual equipment, and I mean thousands of worth of equipment, and they threatened me with arrest again if I ask for any of my stuff back. So it's basically they've been intentionally trying to strip me of every penny of everything I do, just to put me in the state of submission. They wanted to submit me. Okay. And, my handler, he wanted my power. He wanted to take. Boo Boo Kitty, you can't compete where you don't compare. Boo Boo Kitty, you little retarded, half retarded, must have graduated from Harvard. Half retarded, must have graduated from Harvard. Boo Boo Kitty, Boo Boo Kitty. All right, you guys, I love you all so much. You guys all have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. Enjoy your day, enjoy your life, and then I will see you when I see you, all in divine timing. And you all stay wild out there. Love you.